everybody, and welcome to video number 2. Today I'm going to be teaching you about the all or nothing mentality and why you keep starting over. Okay, so what is all or nothing thinking? All or nothing thinking is a cognitive distortion that causes you to see things in extremes with no in-betweens. You're either on track or you've completely messed up. You're either doing everything perfectly or it doesn't count at all. This is how I was thinking for the majority of my weight loss journeys. All of my weight loss journeys in the past, I've always tried to create a perfect day where I eat right, exercise a certain period of time, wake up at a certain time, and if I do not do everything I said I'm gonna do, I feel like I didn't do anything, and I beat myself up. So some examples of this is I ate one cookie, I already messed up, so I might as well eat the whole pack. If I don't work out at least for an hour, it's not worth doing at all. If I didn't stick to my meal today, so I'll just start over next week. I was doing so good until I went out to eat. Now I've ruined everything. If the scale doesn't move this week, it means nothing I did mattered. This is how I normally was thinking. And here are some more examples. And I'm sure this probably sounds like some of y'all. I skipped a day, so now my whole progress is gone. If I don't lose at least 10 pounds, what's the point? I had a bad weekend, so the whole trip is ruined. If I'm not being strict, I'm being lazy. I already failed today, so I'll just eat whatever I want and start again tomorrow. This one was the main one I did. If I decide I'm only eating fruit, if I eat a veggie, oh my God, that means I should eat cookies, cake, rice and green beans and vegan chicken. That's how I was thinking. All right, what leads to this? What leads to, what this leads to? Okay, number 1, a constant cycle of starting over. That is why I always feel like I'm always starting my journeys over and over and over again. You're always chasing the perfect day or even the perfect week. The moment you slip up even a little, you feel like you have to go back to the beginning. So instead of building momentum, you keep resetting. You stay on the treadmill of trying again without ever feeling like you're actually moving forward. This is literally one of the issues I dealt with every time I tried to lose weight. I felt like every day I don't do something perfectly, I have to start over. And that's not how it works. I can't even believe this is how I was thinking. And that's what I'm trying to teach y'all, because this thinking does more harm than good. It really doesn't do any good. The result of this thinking, progress gets delayed. Hope starts to fade. Because you're not changing what you're doing. You just keep trying the same thing over and over that has not been working. You start to wonder if something's wrong with you. You start to wonder, like, will I ever lose weight? Why am I not consistent enough? Why don't I care enough? Number 2. Okay, hold on. Deep guilt and shame around food in your body. Every time you eat something outside of your plan or miss a workout, it's not just a small moment. It becomes a moral failure in your mind. You don't think I made a mistake. You think I am the mistake. Moral failure is true. You believe that you are a person who cannot stick to something instead of just realizing you made a mistake. You attach this whole I don't never stick to anything to yourself. And that is why you don't stick to anything. You feel like you won't. So the result of this, food becomes emotional. Your body becomes the enemy and you punish yourself instead of nourishing yourself. Number 3, exhaustion from trying to be perfect. You're either all in or all out. There's no middle ground. So when you're on, you're pushing hard, overworking, over restricting, over monitoring everything. And when you can't maintain that level because you're human, you crash. Listen, I'm gonna just keep going. The result of this is burnout, then shame, then binge. then back to square one, over and over and over again. This is a cycle I know too well, and I know if I know it too well, somebody else knows it too well. But this video, you're going to be out of that cycle because now you have the awareness of it, and it's not just you. It's nothing wrong with you. You're being too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. You got to realize. Now, on my last video, I was talking about patience. You're going to have patience with yourself during this journey because you're not a person who gets up at 4 a.m., eats right every day, and works out every day. So I don't know why you think overnight you're supposed to wake up at 4 a.m., only eat broccoli, and you know what I'm saying? Like, give yourself grace because obviously the other way you've been doing it is not working. Okay, number 4. Hold on. Mental overload and decision paralysis. You overthink every choice. One misstep feels like a domino that ruins everything. So you're constantly anxious, second guessing, obsessing, and feeling like you're walking on a tightrope. How many of y'all does that sound like? I knew it sounded like me. And that's probably why a lot of y'all in the comments are like, wait, why is a plus size woman teaching us? She ain't lost the weight yet. No, I haven't lost all the weight yet. But listen, I realized that the little steps I'm taking add up, and that if I keep doing this, because I've learned from my mistakes, so I'm teaching y'all my mistakes. I'm gonna get there, and it's gonna be a slim woman teaching y'all. But anyways, you lose trust in yourself. You stop listening to your body, and healing starts to feel complicated or overwhelming. Everything, this whole journey should not feel as overwhelming as it is. You know, if you make a decision and you give yourself a year or two to get to where you're trying to go. Okay. Feeling like you're always behind or never enough. You compare yourself to your perfect days or your ideal weight, and if you're not exactly there, you feel like a failure. You don't celebrate small wins because in your mind, they're not enough. Stop trying to prove to yourself you can do it. Stop trying to prove to yourself that you're enough. Stop trying to prove to people that you'll get where you want to be. Take your time. You don't have to prove to yourself that you can wake up at 4 a.m. and stick to something. Guess what? You're going to stick to something, and it doesn't have to be extreme. The result is you'll never feel proud. You never feel done. You live in a loop of self-judgment instead of self-celebration. Every small thing should be a win. Every time you got up when you didn't feel like it should be a win. The days you ate good the majority of the day, even if you caved in at night, should be a win. You tried, you gave it your all, and you went backwards, but that's fine because tomorrow's a new day. Reflection. Okay. This is how I operated every single time I tried to lose weight. Over time, I realized that in order to make true progress, I can't live like this. It can't always be black or white on a journey like this. It can't. There will be days that feel easier. There will be days that feel harder, but that does not mean I have to start all over. I don't need a perfect day to lose weight. I just need to keep going even when it's not perfect. The definition of perfection, which is a noun, the condition, state, or quality of being free from all flaws or defects, is often defined as the highest standard that something is exactly right in every way. When you apply that definition to yourself, your body, your habits, your healing, you're basically saying, I can't make mistakes. I can't get it right all the time. Wait, you're basically saying, I can't make mistakes. I have to get it right all the time. Anything less than flawless means I failed. Now, does that make sense? Does it make sense? No. No. Okay, so let's change it. Why doesn't this make sense, even though it feels true? It's literally impossible. No one on this planet gets everything right all the time. Not even the most disciplined person you know. Mistakes are a part of growth, not proof you're doing it wrong. It creates fear of progress. When you believe mistakes equal failure, you stop taking risk. You stop trying because you're afraid of messing up. But progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from practice. It disconnects you from your humanity. You weren't you weren't created to be perfect. You were created to grow, learn, stretch, evolve. If everything had to be flawless, none of us would ever have a glow up. Okay? What you're about to have. It makes the journey conditional. You only give yourself love or celebration when you're doing everything right. That's not self-love. That's self-pressure, and that's not sustainable. A new way to see it. I don't have to start over just because the day didn't go as planned. I can keep going from where I am. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. I don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan to begin again. I can begin right now. You can stop whatever you're doing and do 10 jumping jacks right now and sit back down and not feel like you had to work out and do a whole long day of working out and eating right. Those 10 jumping jacks mean something, okay? Now do 10 jumping jacks. See? Now prove to yourself right now that you'll do 10 jumping jacks. And don't think nothing about it. Just do 10 jumping jacks. Okay. I don't need to wait. Oh, I already said that. That gives you time to do 10 jumping jacks. Anyways, I'm not trying to be flawless anymore. I'm trying to be free. One imperfect day doesn't cancel the work I've already done. It doesn't erase my worth. I don't judge my journey by how perfect I was. I look at how I showed up. I celebrate the days I tried. This is how I look at it now, okay? I celebrate the days I tried, the days I rested, the days I had to start again, because I'm not here to perform anymore. I'm here to heal, and healing does not need to be perfect to be real. No more rushing. Take your time. Be kind to yourself. You are not doing any of this, so give yourself grace. Wake up and try. Even if you only walk for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you tried, you did something. Be at peace with that. Just keep trying to get better every day, and by the end of the year or this time next year, you will be so much closer to where you want to be. But this all or nothing thinking is not the way to go about it. And I will definitely make more videos in the future, going deeper into detail about all of this. But that is it for today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.